So real quickly before we move on, I have to ask my I play Madden, schematic question. And the question more or less is like, anytime you get into that situation of that third and short, third and medium, it feels to me like like mesh concepts seem to work really, really well. Does that translate to the highest levels of FBS, football, of the professional level? Are there certain concepts that, like, when you get to that yardage marker where you're kind of just looking to move the chains, that are just kind of more equipped to be first down getters than others?
Yeah, 100%. And at the end of the day, obviously, it's going to depend on the coverage. You want to run mesh concepts against man. You want to run rubbing type routes against man, because we're literally trained as the route runners to run mesh. You're literally trained as the mesh guy to kind of give a jab step in the way of the guy who's covering the other mesh guy who's crossing with you. So that's supposed to put that other guy who's defending him a kind of a step behind and give him just enough to be able to catch the ball and get upfield. And then the cool thing about mesh is, like, okay, let's say they end up sitting back in zone. Okay, well, now instead of your mesh runners running all the way to the sideline, now they go like just outside the hash and they hunker down and sit. So now they're sitting in spots, and you train, and these are kind of progressions of the offense that you get to. Sometimes you might install it this way during training camp. Sometimes it's more of a progression that you install as the season goes on. But then as you start to be able to get so good at mesh, that once you get it against zone, instead of continuing to run to the sideline, you're just running right into defenders that are already covering those zones. You stop and sit in the open spot, and then the quarterback, as soon as you stop, boom, dinks you, and you just get north and south right now. So, I mean, mesh is always and forever will be a solid pillar concept in the pass offense in football in general.
As a former DB, it used to drive me crazy, that and pick routes and anything that takes you off that one guy that you're trying to cover or that zone that you're trying to cover. Just we talk about throwing you off schedule. It throws you off schedule as a DB because it just gives you more things that you have to think about. So I couldn't agree more, and just brings back bad memories just even thinking about those type of routes, because they were no fun to deal with.
Yep. And then you start having fun when you start, releasing the running back wheel through the B gap. And now you're flushing that curl flat guy completely out of the zone. And the guy who's coming from the other side is now running into free space. You start to have fun with it outside of just what base mesh looks like. So, yeah, mesh is very much so a staple.